Welcome to the Corporate Sister TV, where we discuss all things career, business, and lifestyle for working women. My name is Solange Lopes, and I am the founder of the Corporate Sister blog and brand. Today, we'll be talking about how to prepare for your next best career transition, or more specifically, 7 steps to follow to prepare for any career transition in your life, right? So we've talked about it before. Career transitions are challenging. Every time you add an element of change or transition to your line of work, it's bound to bring in some serious challenges, whether it's a learning curve, whether it's getting used to a new company, a new boss, a new team, whether it's getting used to a totally different lifestyle in case of those drastic career transitions, such as jumping from full-time employment to full-time entrepreneurship, as I did recently. In any case, there's always a certain level of challenge involved, right? But the more prepared you are, the more you're able to face those challenges. And the more you're able to face those challenges, the more likely you'll be successful at smashing them and really attaining your goals and objective in record time and with as much fulfillment and satisfaction as possible. So, we've identified 7 steps to help us prepare for our next career transition as well as possible. Step number 1 is to get clear about your why. What is your why? This is a mistake that many of us make before undergoing a career transition. There's this big movement about following your bliss and following your passion and doing work you love, but what we forget in this equation is that we have to be really clear about our intentions when switching careers or switching jobs. Why is this career transition going to make you happier or more fulfilled? What is it that you're looking forward to when making this career transition? What is it going to add or bring to your life and your line of work in general? Make sure to identify your why. In very many instances, it has happened that people planning a career transition started identifying their why and started realizing that, after all, this was not the career transition for them. So what is your why? Get very clear on that. Step number 2 is know what to expect. Again, it's one thing to want to follow your passion and follow your bliss, but if you don't know what your dream career really entails in terms of the technical skills that are needed, in terms of the lifestyle that it requires, in terms of the amount of work and the type of work that it requires, chances are you're setting yourself up for disappointment. So do your research, whether you Google it up or ask people who are already in this line of work, or people who have experienced this line of work before. Make sure that you know what this career transition will entail. Do you have the necessary skills and abilities to handle the work at hand? Are you able to withstand the level of work and the level of pressure involved? To get very clear on what the work entails and what it will be expected of you. Number 3 is to deal with your emotions. Now, this is one step that is very often overlooked. A lot of people just don't deal with their emotions when going through a career transition. I know when I personally went through this career transition into entrepreneurship, and any career transition I have gone through, whether it was changing jobs, moving teams, or what have you, there's always a certain level of emotional attachment that occurs, right? You're leaving something to leap into something else, and that something else can be very challenging, very new, and there's a certain level of emotional involvement that you have to take into account. So deal with those emotions, acknowledge them, acknowledge the fact that you may be scared, acknowledge the fact that you may actually be terrified, acknowledge the fact that you may be sad at leaving something, or your coworkers, an environment that you're used to, and going into something that you're not familiar with. So make sure to acknowledge your emotions and to respect the process that you're going through. It'll make it much easier in the end. Step number 4 is to get clear about the how. In other terms, Do you have an action plan? It's one thing to want to jump into sales or entrepreneurship or any type of other career. It's another thing to have an action plan for your actual career transitions. What skills will you need to acquire? Chances are you already have some skills that you can use in this new line of work or in this new job or in this new team or department or what have you. But what additional skills will you need to acquire? What additional trainings will you need to take? Will you need to get a certification or a licensure or even a new degree? Will you need to expand your network a certain way to join certain associations? What do you already have that you can use for this new job? So make an action plan. And make it as detailed as possible. If there are any skills or abilities that you need to get, make a plan to get them, and detail that plan into specific steps, as well as assign yourself deadlines to meet those steps. That was step number 4. Step number 5 is to mind your brand. Every time you make a career transition or a career change of one type or another, your personal brand, your professional brand, as well as your personal brand switches a little bit because you're going into a new environment. Sometimes you're going into something drastically different and at the opposite of anything you've ever experienced before. So your professional persona is going to have to adapt to it. So mind the personal brand that you are presenting. How can you do it? Adjust your resume to reflect the new environment that you're getting ready to transition into. Adjust your LinkedIn profile. Sometimes you even have to adjust your profile pictures or the way you dress just to make your brand match your new career as much as possible. Now, this doesn't mean forfeiting who you are and changing who you are. It just means progressing into the identification of your professional and personal brand. That was step number 5. Step number 6 is to track your progress. A career transition or a career change of any kind is a process. It's going to require you to go through certain steps as we're discussing right now. And as you're going through these steps, you'll be able to see your progress or the lack thereof. It's not an easy thing to do. So sometimes you're going to go slower, sometimes you're going to go faster, sometimes you're going to acquire some skills a little faster, and others a little slower. You're going to expand your network a little faster and other times a little slower. So it's a process, but make sure to track your progress through it. Check in with yourself every week or so. How am I doing in this career transition? Am I getting closer? Am I acquiring the skills I need? Am I meeting the people I need to meet? Am I getting the resources I need to get? Track your progress as you go to make sure that 1, you are effectively making progress, and 2, that you're getting closer to your goals and objectives in this career transition. And last but not least, get support. Mobilize your posse. Seriously, call your girlfriend, go have a drink, talk to somebody. A career transition or a career change is challenging. It's tough. It's a process. It requires time, dedication, sacrifice, time, energy, resources. So you have to be able to have some kind of a support system. So whatever it is that you choose to do, call your girlfriends, go have a drink. Just one, please. This is supposed to be comforting. Go have a drink, do something to make you feel better. Share your journey with somebody else. Make sure that your family and your close circle support you through it. But even beyond your family and your close circle, make sure that you're also expanding your professional network to include the people who will be able to help you through this career transition. These may be mentors who can teach you about how to better get into that career and how to get results into this new career or this new work of line you're getting into. These can be people who've gone through the same career transition before, but start to also expand your professional network in order to get as much support as possible. So let's do a quick recap. of the 7 steps in order to prepare for any career transition, number 1 is to get clear about your why. Why do you want to make this career transition? How is it going to make your life and career better? What is it going to bring to your life and career? Step number 2, know what to expect. What kind of work is involved? What kind of skills and abilities are required? What does this new career, job, or whatever it is that you're transitioning into entail? Number 3, deal with your emotions. Acknowledge the process. Acknowledge the fact that it is difficult and give yourself some space to feel and breathe. Step number 4 is identify your how. Come up with an action plan. Fill in all the gaps that you have when it comes to this career transition in terms of the skills you need, in terms of the people you need, the resources you need, and come up with an action plan to address each and every one of these gaps. Give yourself deadlines and timelines to accomplish these steps, and make sure that you're accomplishing them and reaching your objectives. Step number 5 is to mind your brand. Whether it's your personal or professional brand, make sure that you're adjusting to whatever career or line of work you're transitioning to. Step number 6 is track your progress. This is a process. It's okay to go slower at times and to go faster at others. What's not okay is to not know where you stand. So know where you stand at every point of this process. Track your progress, be patient with yourself, and keep improving. And step number 7, get the support you need, whether it's in terms of your family and close circle of friends, or in terms of your professional network with people who can actually help you and mentor you through this process. Any questions, anything you'd like to add to these 7 steps, please add some comments below, like the video, and share it. Thank you.